Your headline act tonight. Give it up for David Surrett, Leo.
Let's hear it for everyone that you saw tonight. At the top of the show, I have to issue an apology. Yes, already, man, already. I'm gonna sound like this the whole time, and I'm so sorry. I thought I would grow into a cool man voice at the age of 33, but nah, baby. Let's go to Whole Foods. That's me. That's me every day of my life. So there we go. Hey, let's do something a little more relatable. How many of y'all got mirrors in your home? Anyone look at themselves lately? Oh, buckets. It's hard for me sometimes to look at myself because I got too much going on, right? And I suffer from this wacky condition. It's called alcoholism, so I forget what I look like sometimes, in the mornings especially. So I'm just staring in the mirror like, what the fuck? Oh God, this too? No. What is that? It's like some sort of Salvador Dali, Ron Jeremy creature crawled out of the internet. Like the little girl from those Ring movies. Just came right out of the screen. I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh, hold up. That's that lead singer from that all plus-size Foo Fighters cover band. Have you heard of them? I think they're called Food Fighters. That's the dumb part of the joke. Hang on a second. Whoa, chill out, I got this. I know who that man in the mirror is, yes I do. That's that illegitimate Mexican Mario brother that Nintendo's all hush-hush about. All the other two Mario brothers, they don't even do plumbing. They just take mushrooms and go on go-karts all day. That sounds leisurely. Not me. Bueno. It's okay. Bueno. Ooh, that's for me. I'm making jokes up here. It's okay. I'm not Mexican. I'm actually, I'm actually a Colombiano. Oh, silencio, por favor. But, I love being Colombian. Like we've done some cool stuff. Coffee, anybody? Ooh, buckets. How I'm gonna start that long work week. We also invented a kidnapping. Sorry. We made up for it though. We made Shakira. That thing's crazy. You guys remember Shakira at all? If you don't, she's like the size of that stool, and she's fierce. She's she's the one that's all like, right? And what's really crazy is that's a pretty dope Shakira impression, but that's just how my hot Latin blood in my body, when it boils up and it gets all hot, it just comes out. It just like it's a gift and a curse. And a click curse, I know. You can't really, maybe you figured it out by now, but I kind of fancy myself, I'm kind of a sweet boy, okay? I'm kind of a sweet boy. Poetry and candy, I'll take Twix, please. But I live in Chicago. That's right, Chicago, the windy sausage. Thank you. Yeah. So it's a tough city and it's making me such a mean, such a naughty goose. That's a saying from the city I'm from, I think. But I've been getting so mean. Like I've been so mean. I was judging people on the bus the other day and it was crazy. I saw this couple and I didn't like them. I didn't like them one bit. Like the guy had a backwards hat and I was like, fuck you. That's not how you wear a hat. It's sunny out. Be smart. But he had like a goatee, but like a fucking goat. Like I played bass in an all white people funk band goatee. Like I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. And his girlfriend sitting next to him, she looked like the female version of that, which is, I know, that's a vague description. But what's really crazy is that when you kind of think about it more, it starts making sense because the mind is a modern marvel. It's insane. They look like their safe word in bed is like that. Yeah. accomplishments and our failures. So like, well, I used to live in Madison, Wisconsin. Go Badgers! And I moved into a new neighborhood, and I do what anyone should do when you move in a new neighborhood. I made a bunch of bran muffins and handed them out. Because I got a sick recipe for bran. Ooh, that stuff pays off in the long run. Anyways, I'm ahead of myself. So there's this family across from where I lived, and they were notoriously known as the Addams family because they had Halloween decorations all year round, and they all dressed black and in goth, and like there was a wife, a husband, the husband's girlfriend, the girlfriend's nieces and nephews, one of the nephews' daughters, then the wife had a slave named Mr. Rabbit who never wore a shirt, and he wasn't allowed to talk unless spoken to. So it was like a very diverse family unit. And I was like, I want to meet them. I don't want to just hear rumors, and that's not nice. So I went over with the muffins, and I'm like, hi, I'm David, you're next. And they started talking to me, but I got this crazy vibe from them, like this weird condescension. Like they're just kind of like not impressed, like, oh, hello. You know, it didn't feel right. And on my way out, they said something that really got me. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're doing a suspension show later, and if you can handle that kind of thing, you're invited. And I was just like, okay, scary cat lady, I hear you. Maybe I'll see you later. Enjoy the muffin, right? And if you don't know what a suspension show is, that's when consenting adults take giant hooks and sharp objects and they drive them through their bodies, and then they hang from the ceiling from it and spin around for the sheer sexual pleasure, right? And so I just really wanted to go just to spite this mean goth. And I went over to my house. My buddy Mike was there, which I knew wasn't invited. I don't know why he was there. And I was like, Mike, okay, this lady, she kind of slighted me. We got to go to the suspension show tonight at the goth club downtown. And he's like, aren't you going to ask me how I broke into your two-story home? And I was like, listen, Mike, that's not important. I got a point to prove, and I don't really know what that point is. It's kind of half-assed, but I got to prove it. And he's like, all right, fine, let's go to the show. I'm like, yeah, and he's at a goth club, so you know it'd be funny if we wore all white, because everyone would wear all black, and I have 2 pairs of white pants, and that's crazy if you're a guy. You should do that. You should do that. And he was like, yeah, and I have some 5-year-age family strand acid in my freezer. We should take that too. And I was like, fine, whatever, let's just go. I don't care. I don't know. Your part is less important than my part. Later on, I found out his part was just as important as my part. Because I never did know acid before. No, I didn't. So I packed in the goofball, right? I'm just like kind of waiting for it to kick in, and I don't really know what to expect. So I'm just like kind of walking around the goth bar looking like a dumbass in all white. Who the fuck wears white pants, right? And like, I was just like waiting. I'm like, I feel fine. I don't know what the hubbub is about. I don't think it's kicking in, right? It's not gonna kick in. No, I don't think it's kicking in. Nah, it's not gonna kick in. No, I don't think it's kicking in. I don't think it's kicking in. I don't think hit with the hit the sound hit oh no, it did kick in. Oh no, I had like this moment where I thought I saw a pretty lady checking me up in the bar, and I was like, ooh, I'm good with the ladies, I think. And like, I was telling my buddy, I'm like, you see that girl checking me out, dog? You see her? And he's like, David, that's the color orange. And I'm like, oh no, this stuff is the real deal. And so like it began, and I had this like, so the show began, they had all these people on stage, and they're getting fucking hooks driving through their skin, and they're like bleeding, like it was intense, right? And I don't know what, I'm sure it was because of the goofballs, I was so into it, I was like, oh, sign me up! Like I was just like in front of the stage in white, just like, yeah, this is real good. And I noticed there were some ladies to the side of me dancing. I'm like, yeah, dance with me, let's do this, it's exciting. And I didn't really realize it, but I had my hand on this lady's back, and I started like kind of scratching her a little bit, like just like kind of slowly getting into it. And she was whispering in my ear like, you can go harder if you want. And I was like, I can't. And I'm just like dancing and scratching, and then all of a sudden the inside David voice was like, no! Like it just piped up like, you can't do this, David! And I was like, oh, you're right. So I explained to the lady, like, I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding, but I'm under influence of some heavy narcotics, and I acted out in a way that wasn't appropriate, and I wish you could forgive me. But it didn't come out that way because of the goofball. The whole time I was like, whoa! Acid, right? And she made me feel like the jerk because she's like, yeah, I know what acid is. Are you going to continue fucking scratching me or not? And I was like, no, I don't know. So, thank you again for laughing, and round of applause just for yourselves. I really appreciate it. Everybody on the show really appreciates this because doing this up here is scary. It's a scary thing. And I don't know if you pursue an art or just in any kind of work, I feel like there's this moment you have where you kind of have to stop and be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life, right? Now, I'm not having that moment right now. I'm so happy and confident. But like, the first time that ever happened to me, I used to be the lead singer in an 80s hair metal comedy band. What? Yeah. It's that I can do that dumb shit, yeah, I can do it. So I was in this band called Tiger Clutch that I started with my friends, and it was a silly joke band. We wore funny outfits. I used to wear a leotard. This ain't no leotard body, baby. No, not good. But we would do all these crazy shows, and we got our big break. Which you would ask, what's the big break for a comedy hair metal band? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because it's the Bratwurst Festival in Madison, Wisconsin. And if you don't know the Bratwurst Festival in Madison, it's the biggest sausage festival in the whole world! It's basically where like Midwestern families just go under the hot sun with their round little jelly children. They carve them around till they turn like a lobster red, and then they fireworks, and then they DUI home, because that's what normal families do. Damn it, I'm getting the Mazda, right? It was one of those events, and we were so excited to play it, but it was a family-friendly event, and our band wasn't family-friendly at all. Some of our song titles were, I'm here to fuck, you smell like a whore, and 69, the sexual position for all you number nerds out there. Yeah. Like, we were the kind of band, one time on stage, I took a shot of tequila that was brewed with cocaine and had a baby scorpion in it, because I know how to fucking party next! Yeah, it was like that kind of band. So we were like frantic, we're like, we gotta do something for the kids, right? And we wrote this song called Free Puppies. It was like, oh my God, they're all so very cute! Free puppies! And we would throw puppies like into the crowd. But they were stuffed animal puppies because I'm not a monster. And we're like, this is such a good idea, there's no way this can go wrong. I can't wait for tomorrow. So the next day happens, and they put us next to the fun run, which just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's fun. Have you ever ran before? Not good. So like, all these confused families got done running, and our stage was right there, and they just see us assholes like, you guys ready to run? And they're just like, yeah, I guess so. Spencer, come on, ready to run, let's go. Double up. Like, so we start doing the show, and it was very awkward at first. They slowly started kind of getting into it, and then it was going well. But then we did the Free Puppies part, and it was pandemonium. All these little kids were running up just fighting for these stuffed animal puppies. Like, it was insane. But when the dust settled, there was one little boy, we'll call him Spencer. He didn't get a puppy, and he looked sad. So Spencer's mommy and papa like walked him up to the stage, and they're like, can he get a puppy? Can he get a puppy, please? I looked at my puppy box. I have one left. Holy moly, right? So I take the puppy out, and I'm like reaching down to this little boy like, you want a puppy, little boy? And he looked up at me like, no. But little Spency, once he got the puppy, and he was happy. But afterwards, my friends came up to me and they're like, David, that was crazy. And I'm like, I'm modest. They're like, no, shut the fuck up. That whole time you were doing whatever it is you do up there, you had like a giant tear in your leotard, like right fucking here. So this poor little boy had to look up at this fucking demon, like, you want a pup, and I never felt, like, that was the first time I questioned myself, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But the moral of that story is to always follow your dreams and aspirations. So one more time for your dreams and aspirations. Thank you very much.
time to be our headliner tonight.